Well, good evening, everyone. We are back here for the CSC Challenger Series Division 2 tonight. I hope you're ready. I know I certainly am, as we're down to our final three competitors in this Division 2 bracket. Should be a great one. Will Stewart here of USA Darts, joined as always by Sean Green of To The Point Streaming. Sean, the last three, brother, how's it going?
Man, going fantastic first and foremost, but it's good to see you as always. Love it. Monday, I'm just now catching my breath, I think. I'm just now, I wasn't able to sleep Monday night very much or Tuesday night because I was still thinking about it. And tonight's no different, man. Top three matchup Cody Drager, Brandon Westover. It's going to be fantastic, man. I'm expecting great things.
It should be a great match here. Yeah, you mentioned Monday night, as we had that great match Monday night between Willie Walker and of course the impressive performance.
How do you shoot a 5-2-4 and lose 9-4?
Yeah, I mean, for Willie Walker to have that kind of performance and to miss out. I mean, what can you do? What
You
can you
can't
do?
you can't do anything. And here's the crazy thing about tonight is, and if Brandon Westover wins tonight, we'll be at Skybox from the top four of Division One all the way to the finals. For Division One and Division Two, we will be at Skybox Tavern for at least one of them. For one of the players, it's crazy. That's
Yeah,
insane.
yep. Because you've got Kenny Doyle already in it, and we
hmm
had Brian Dennis coming across for over Willie Walker, but then you have this gentleman here tonight and Brandon Westover, who's at the Skybox as well in Division Two. So, I mean, Skybox is littered with talent, it seems.
Yeah, and listen, when I went there 6 months ago, a trip to Disney, I had no idea what type of establishment I was walking into, and the talent was great that night. But I still, I guess, just didn't even notice the fact that there were fives in the building pretty much the whole time. Crazy.
Just
It's
just
insane, man.
just littered around you. But we mentioned Brandon Westover. His opponent tonight is going to be Cody Drager in this top three, and you can kind of see the tail of the tape here as we had Nick switch on over to this beautiful screen here with MPRs a 3.849 for Cody and a 3.758 for Brandon. Now those are some before the tournament stats. Currently, right now, I have Mr. Cody Drager at a 4.14 and Brandon at a 4.22. So of course the average steps up when you're kind of in that tournament play. So you can see this kind of the stats below here. A couple 3.5 years for Brandon, and then Cody with the 9 years. Just the 3.5 kind of pops out to me for Brandon.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I listened to his interview earlier that you guys are going to get at the break. Stay tuned for it and listen to it because he goes into detail on some of the strategy choices that he makes in cricket. And this is after talking to a lot of those top players. He plays statistics more often than not, uh, even when he shoots at doubles in cricket. With as long as he doesn't get the burn, I'm fine with it. But I'm expecting a great matchup. Now, to give you guys some insight here, Cody Drager plays at the Rock in Sun Prairie, Wisconsin. He is a former TOC finale champion, and we've had a few of them on the CSC Challenger Series, and they've been successful pretty much when we've seen them play. But he won in 2018. But he has already played Brandon Westover, and the final score was 9-2 last time. What do you think that does for both players?
I think that's definitely in the mind of Cody tonight. I think that's one of the things that you come in trying to mentally prepare for is you already got bested by the guy, and it was by a substantial form. It wasn't. He said he said it kind of in the interview. He kind of said he just didn't feel right. I think is what he mentioned. So for Brandon, you just hope he doesn't come in with too much confidence. He's got to take this game one leg at a time, just like Cody does. But yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting match. I think Cody's going to bring it a lot more than that 9-2 score line of last time.
Yeah, for sure. I think this is going to be a lot closer. I think we're going to see Brandon. Last time we saw Brandon play, I don't think that was his A game by far. And I think he really is wanting and expecting to actually bring his A game tonight. Cody, on the other side, he already lost to him 9-2. He knows he's the underdog just because of that, and because he knows that we're going to say that before they start playing, right? Because we we wouldn't do the chat and the people watching justice if we didn't say that. But so he's already looked at as the underdog. He's playing on house money here, pretty much. The winner of this goes to the Kings or goes to the finals, and that's a big deal. That is absolutely a big deal, and that also is going to cause a little bit of pressure, I think, a little bit tonight. But I'm expecting both these guys to come out firing. It's gonna be a good show, man. What are you thinking? I'm gonna give. I haven't done this to you in like 3 weeks. Give me a
Nope.
prediction before we even start.
Not doing it. Not doing it. Not doing
Why
it. I'm
not?
not. I'm not. Once I had the three for there, and I just think, nope, can't do it. Can't do it because the pressure behind me. If one of these fine young spectators at Skybox tells Brandon a scoreline prediction, I come out the victim here. So I'm not gonna do that. There's no way I can't do that to Brandon and or Cody. I'm just expecting a good lights out match here. Hopefully we see the best form from both these gentlemen as we see Let's Go Brandon there. Let's Go Brandon the scoreboard there. I think that's
Um,
Mr. Nick Selepic on the side of that one. It couldn't be. I can't really tell.
yeah, it is for sure.
Yeah, it is.
Um,
Okay.
and I do have to. I wonder if they're I wonder if he's listening to us right now in there, and that's what he's hearing. He's laughing. Yep, he sure is. He absolutely is. Um,
Yep. Called it. That I'm not gonna give these guys. Yeah, look at it. He's waving his hand. Yep. I knew it. I was like, I'm not gonna let him tell Brandon a score line here. There ain't no way.
Smart. That's smart. Now that you point that out, bud. It looks like Cody got the
Thank
start
you.
here. So good luck to both these players. It's going to be an awesome match. And as we get started here, you mentioned you don't want to give a stat line because you don't want to be in trouble with Brandon. Does that have something to do with the fact that he's the current world record holder for the most Murphys done in 24 hours?
I'm glad that you mentioned that because I'm just gonna stay right here in this seat and not do any of that because I'll leave that to him.
I'm
Leave
just
that
saying
to
you
him.
travel around the country for a lot of tournaments, so you might run into him eventually.
I mean, eventually, that's the truth. As we get started here in this race to 9 leg format here in this Division 2 third place match in the
It's going to be awesome.
CSC Challenger Series brought to you by Partners Promoting Darts. Brandon Westover versus Cody Drager. Here we go, folks.
You know what I'm also excited about tonight is that we know that Nick is a huge supporter of Brandon Westover. He loves him to death, and so we get to sit here and watch his face this whole time, cheering, and also the looks that he's going to give if it's not going that way. Oh boy, that's an extra bonus for the chat tonight. We are going to make sure that we mention that as often as we can because he's already starting to sweat.
You can see him in the background panting.
I think we need a graphic for him tonight instead of us.
Hot start here from Cody Drager in this one, 4.67 to boot. Here we go.
Really quickly, as we get started here, Ryan George is in the chat with us, and I do want to give him a shout out for, first of all, helping us out on Monday night, and then also his son is currently at Riley's in Indy battling some health issues, and they're not quite sure what's going on, and they're trying to get answers. So my thoughts and prayers and our thoughts and prayers are with you, buddy. And I want to make sure that you're aware of that, bud.
Well said there, Mr. Green.
All right, here we go. Brandon not getting going as quickly as he wants to here. He's kind of shaking his head at it. We all have those legs. Well, I definitely have those legs where I just don't hit a triple. You don't hit triples aren't being hit, you know? You ever have that happen to you in your entire darting career or no?
Can we be honest here?
Yeah.
Can we be honest here? We know you do. We know you do. You didn't have to tell us. Just kidding.
I thought you were going to be nice to me for once, and I was like, oh, nope. That tone changed quickly, didn't it?
Oh, Mr. Green here, quick to make fun of his own darting game always, but how about this stand for Mr. Brandon Westover? As I thought for sure maybe Cody was going to put this leg to pasture here, but hey, there you go. That's a good Kansas reference. Leg to pasture here.
There you
But
go.
he's making a stand on these 16s. I like it. Oh, big 19s there for Cody, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Cody's starting out throwing very well. The question is, how quickly will it take both these guys to kind of get into the rhythm of this match to where they're not thinking of the fact that they're being live streamed, the fact they're not thinking that it's a top 3 match, because eventually they're going to get to the point where it's just darts being thrown and everything else that's going on around them, the prize money that they're playing for right now, the winner is guaranteed an extra $500. The loser walks out with $1,000, which is a huge win anyway. It'll take a couple minutes, maybe a couple rounds for these guys to just ignore that completely. And I think once that happens, we're going to see some fantastic darts being thrown.
I think touche on that one. Touche. That's all I can say on that. I completely agree.
Dynamite drop in.
You are completely welcome on that one, sir. What is?
I love it.
Nick always up to something in the background. I can't wait for that. That's gonna be good.
Guys, there are 179 people watching through our 3 platforms tonight. Currently, let us know where you're tuning in from, who you're rooting for, what your predictions for are tonight. Remember that Brandon has the world record for the most Murphys in 24 hours. So he does CrossFit. He'll tell you that first. So just make sure you don't make him too angry in that in that prediction that you're putting in the chat, because he will go back and look. Just saying. All right, Cody with a chance now to end this leg right this second and take that 1-0 lead. And for someone who lost the last time you played him 9-2, getting that first leg on the board is huge. Do you agree with that?
Yes, I completely agree. I think that first leg, just getting that on the board, possibly, he's not going to get the start here, but if he can start off well, and if Brandon kind of struggles here, I think that's going to be really suiting well for Cody. And if he takes off, it's going to be troublesome for Brandon.
Yep, and there's Brandon doing his patented starting on the 19s. We saw that a lot the last time that he played. And again, he makes it known in the interview, he plays the statistics on that. Whether or not that means that he hits 19s more than he hits 20s, and that's why he does it more often. But interesting. It's always an interesting strategy. It's not something that a lot of players agree with doing, but if it ends up working out for him, and it tends to be, he's in the 3rd place match of the CSC Challenger Series after playing darts for only 3.5 years, which I'm not jealous of at all about, by the way. It's
Sure.
It works, And his brother, quick to point out that it's called Murphs, not Murphys. Ryan, I don't know if you have seen a picture of me, but I do not do CrossFit. So those lingos, I couldn't do a Murph to save my life. So that's why I messed that up. Sorry.
So somebody in the chat's asking what were the averages for Monday night? Did you have those off the top of your head? I think it was like a 5.22.
It was a
Right?
5.24 and a 5.46 were the 2 averages. Weirdly, I also know that Ryan was a little bit off on the number of 9 marks. I don't tell him. But it was 15 9 marks for Willie, actually, and 11 from Brian. 9 in that one leg, and leg 7, which was insane. including back-to-back-to-back-to-back. And they were in the 30s, both of them, for 7 marks. It's stupid.
Yeah, it definitely got a hand to the point where you're just sitting there like, what do you say right now? What can you say? I mean, you just sit back and enjoy is what you what you do.
Right. And, you know, when I look back, I look back on that match because I had to watch it again without actually like doing the commentary on it and just listen and watch. And I get very excited when I'm seeing this stuff happen, and it's because I'm just not used to seeing this happen. And I don't think very many people are. I saw a lot of comments that are like greatest leg of all time. I have to throw in a Boom Goes the Dynamite real quick
Yep.
for Cody there on the 20s. Nicely done,
Oh,
sir. Oh, look at that. That's the best version of it. Showing
yeah.
my better half, that's for
Hide the
sure.
hide the ugly mug, please. We'll count that as a bonus. Thank you, Nick.
Yeah, it was on purpose for sure. He wanted to show off my belly. Um, but uh, but yeah, just it was insane. It was absolutely crazy that happened. Um, Dan Levine says, "Where's Brandon's velvet ropes tonight?" They were unlucky. I think they were unlucky when he had them last time.
It is nice to see a good amount of support for him, just like there was for Brian Dennis on Monday night, though, there at the Skybox. So nice to see that out in Kissimmee, Florida.
Kissimmee.
Kissimmee, Kissimmee. I went real Kansas with it. Sorry.
Oh, I call it Kissimmee
Kissimmee,
too. So
Kissimmee,
that's
Kissimmee.
that's not even a thing. It is also Brandon Westover's wife's birthday tonight. So happy birthday. He can't lose on his wife's birthday that he's not even celebrating with her, right? That can't happen.
Come
Her
on, Brandon.
her gift better be an extra $500, she's saying.
Look at this, a big white horse from Cody Drager. 2 nines in this one.
He's throwing a 5.88 in this leg right now. And I'm telling you, this is not the same Cody Drager that Brandon played the last time. And Cody made it perfectly clear that he did not want to be that Cody tonight. So we're seeing him on his best. Again, as a reminder, these guys are averaging a 4.22 for Brandon and a 4.14 for the tournament. So you're seeing both these guys throwing well above their average right now. And we're going to see that the entire rest of the time.
Here we go. Let's see if he can make a stand here. Can he? He's got a 2-point lead. I think it's going to be too little too late for Brandon. I think Cody's going to get this early 2-0 lead here.
We went for the bull on the first one. Gets on the second one. Just a simple 20 here will do it. And there it is. A 5.10 there to a 4.2, baby. For Cody Drager takes a 2-0 lead. Since it's early on in this whole show, let's talk some things. If you guys are just joining us for the first time, first of all, where you been? This is our 15th match that we have streamed since we started, bud. Can you believe that, actually?
That's a
That
crazy
number?
number. That is a crazy number. It's been definitely a lot of fun here getting to commentate on these Division II, Division I matches in the CSC Challenger Series. Lots of good quality play. We've had a good handful, a small handful, I'll say, of matches that have went the distance, which is always nice.
Ryan
Yeah.
goes, "Oh no, not the monologue," because he thought that's where I was going with the. Since it's early,
You let it down. Womp, bump, bump, bump.
no, I'm gonna do the monologue because I have to. No, I don't have to, but I like doing it. Because guys, the next CSC Challenger Series starts at the end of February, and the legendary Will Stewart is back in the commentary booth, with me, the unlegendary Sean Green. So we'll see kind of how if you want to get involved, let's find out how you get involved. You want to do that? Aren't you curious how to get involved?
Well, let's hear it.
Well, if you want to be eligible to play in PPD Nationals in January, coming up pretty soon, TOC in October 2022, which we like right now is watching a current or a former Finale Champion, and the CSC Challenger Series. Players become eligible for those by playing in PPD leagues and daily remote tournaments, or DRTs. Leagues are started daily. Get involved by going to dartstoc.com and checking out the map. The map will show any locations with G3 boards within the PPD system. We are always accepting new members, so if you're not seeing anything in your area, have your vendor contact the PPD on the website. From there, players can sign up for leagues on the website. It doesn't take a ridiculous amount of games to be eligible either. Consistently playing one league a week will keep a player eligible for this event and other events in the future. Again, go to dartstoc.com to get signed up today. Now, you have to be within the top 500 players points-wise on the All-Star rank list lockdown date, which is January 11, 2022. However, January 9th is the last day to play matches to get into the point totals. So if you're really close and it's January 9th, you better be playing that night. Keep in mind the way to get points for every league match played, DRT played. 50 points are awarded every time a player participates in our All-Star Triples tournaments. On that January 11th lockdown date, we will take the top 500 players on the rank list, sort that list of players by player rating, or PR. The top 32 players will get invited to Division 1, and the next highest rated 32 players will be invited to Division 2. That's right, guys. We are switching Division 2 to 32 players in hopes for more streaming opportunities for us and also give 16 more spots for players to fill, therefore rewarding more players for their PPD remote play. And that's what it's all about. I mean, in Division 1 there's $15,000 total in prize money for this event put on by Partners Promoting Darts. It has been absolutely awesome to watch. And honestly, it's been super cool to have all of this that we can, get to know these players more often and see some new players and have a storyline for you that Cody Drager lost 9-2 last time he played Brandon. He's already at that same point right now. There's a nice 8 mark there for Cody. He is throwing some great darts currently.
Well, I was about to say, yeah, we're seeing kind of Brandon make a really, really stand here, but Cody's just upping his ante each time he comes up, and it looks like he's just trying to gain a three leg lead here. Sean, I know you're hesitating, wondering what the heck I'm doing here. I had to stand up because I got a leg cramp. I'm getting so tingled. Water.
Oh, he did it. He did it to you. He put you in there.
To me. Oh man.
That's my view I have, guys. Be jealous of that. As
Oh man.
Brandon's going to have to start picking it up. And he's starting to get... I think he's overthinking this already, if I'm being quite honest with you. I think it's still in his mind what is at stake tonight, what he's playing for, the people that are behind him, watching him play, that are rooting for him, that want to see him win. He knows he's already beat Cody 9-2. It's easy to look ahead when you already have beaten someone like that. He's not going to do that, but the fact that he is not hitting these triples early on is getting inside his head right now, and he's got to just trust the fact that he is a fantastic dart player. He has the averages to do it, and it's a long format. Race to 9, it's not over within 3 legs. We've seen some comebacks from that already. I'm not going to mention any names, but we saw a 6-1 comeback a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing Mr. Tito Martinez chime in saying Cody really played well against me. Shot great. Shot lights out, actually. So we're seeing Cody play pretty good to start off this first 3 legs here. So he's going to look to take the 3-leg lead, and he does. Cody Drager with a big 4.22 right there.
Yeah, and I do also want to point out, it's a great thing that you just pointed out that Tito Martinez is in the chat talking about how Cody shot lights out against him and his great shot. We saw Tito Martinez put probably one of the most impressive performances that we've seen. Not the most impressive, that was definitely Monday night, but one of the most impressive pointing performances that we have ever seen for the CSC Challenger Series. He did not make it easy on the great Brandon Neal. And Brandon did not have fun that night. So for Cody to get past that, he's a top level player.
Yeah, yeah, and I think unfortunately you say it lightly there for Tito, and unfortunately I know Brandon's not going to want to hear it, but yeah, kind of Tito just grabbed hold of that match from the very get go and didn't let it go.
No, I mean, he was on fire. He was not missing, but he wasn't missing on points. So he was making it so hard for Brandon to even enjoy every leg, because by the time we're 8, 9 rounds into it, he's 200 points down and 3 wedges down, and he's wondering
What
what the heck
happened?
just happened.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. It's tough.
Wendy Ritchie is in the chat, thanking all the CNM players that came down and played out of Skybox. I'm guessing that is the owner of Skybox. Well, I want to thank you personally for having me that one night at that blind draw, where I got to meet Nick, and I keep thinking about the fact that all that has led me right here, just being able to meet him and be at that blind draw. So thank you for that. It's a beautiful venue, what you have there. It's an interesting venue for sure, but it is a great venue.
There we go. Well, these two gentlemen, Brandon's gonna try to wrangle in some 16s here. He's got to find his stroke and find it fast. He doesn't want to find himself down going into the break by by a hefty margin. I mean, he can find himself down just by Cody getting this win here, as we do take a break after 7 legs, and if he finds that magical 4 number, he will go ahead no matter what happens here. If Brandon's able to rattle off some, but he will have the player advantage if Cody wins this leg.
No, absolutely. And with that player advantage, Brandon going first, although it hasn't really worked out for him so far, um, does have an opportunity to bring it to within 2. And that 7th leg right before the break, if it is 4-2, you want to talk about a huge leg in this match, that's going to be it. And the one thing that I know about Brandon Westover is that he will not quit on any given leg, as you're seeing it right here with a 7 mark. He is scrappy. He is not going to go down without a fight in any leg whatsoever. So I'm expecting this, no matter what's happened so far, 3-0 Cody, this is definitely far from over, and Cody's going to have to work hard and keep up exactly what he's doing in order to actually beat Brandon.
Yeah, he's if I'm in Cody's position, you can't get complacent with what Brandon's doing. You have to just continue to throttle down and go, because if you release off that gas just a little bit and coast, Brandon's going to be right behind you and he's going to get you.
I do want to point out as well, and this is the opposite perspective, right? That because Cody already lost 9-2 to Brandon, he might be trying just to turn the tables on him and beat him as badly as he got beat before, to make it known that that was an off night for Cody Drager, and this is the real one. Now's the time.
Now is the time.
And you're seeing it. He's averaging a 4.63 now in this leg. He's been constantly at a 4.5 or higher.
Now here's the thing. You've seen Brandon pick it up significantly. He's now shooting. He was shooting in the 4 pluses just before that little round there. So he's starting to pick it up, and you see Nick Selepic give him a little advice.
Not a bad person to have giving you advice right now, reminding you that this is a long format, to not get frustrated, to get out of your head, to know that you're a good dart player and that it'll come and those triples will start hitting, and just relax.
Certainly.
Do you think that's what he's saying?
He's got to be telling him either, hey, you got to hit this number or this number, or go attack this number, or he's telling him, hey, exactly what you're saying. Don't get down on yourself here. You just got to keep going. Because I mean, look, he was at a 3-5 there, but most of the match he was hanging in the 4s. So he's right there with him.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right, and that's what I'm saying. That he's right there. Cody just is hitting those triples right now. He's hitting them hard, and he's throwing fantastic. But Brandon's just right there as well. That first start is really, really good. I'm surprised he went down the 19s, but it worked out for him. He ended up with some points there. You're going to see some aggressive darts, I think, from Brandon right now to try and turn this thing around.
I think Brandon's got to play a more of a point battle now here. He's got to step up his points and keep it to where it's a triple, more than a triple lead.
I like that idea. And you saw it right there. I think you're absolutely right, man.
What did you just say there?
Oh, did I mute my mic? For the first time ever, I said, Will Stewart, you're absolutely right there, buddy, and I agree with you.
Nick, you clip it right now. Clip it.
Someone's gonna immediately put it right there. I love it. Guys, we appreciate you so much for tuning in with us. It is 4-0 right now in this race to 9 for Cody Drager against Brandon Westover, the third place match. The loser gets $1,000 he's walking out with. The winner guaranteed at least $1,500, playing for $2,500 in that first place prize. I don't know why you're pointing at me, honestly.
I just like pointing at Sean in the background, but look at that, a big 6 mark. As you see exactly what I was saying, Brandon, you got to keep it as a big advantage here. And I think Nick spouted off him too. Hey, now's the time where you better point, son. You better point, because the way Cody's playing, he's gonna be at your heels the whole time. So Brandon with the 105 lead there beforehand. Now it's just down to 15. So let's see what he does here. 2 houses open.
He's not looking away from the number that he likes the most, which is 19s. So if you're sitting there wondering why he's not shooting at the 20s, even though it's 3 more points for each triple, it's because he really, really, really favors 19s, and he hits them more often than not.
Oh, Brandon steps to the line, just a little bit down now. Does he switch? No, stays right there. Just picks up a single. So ties it up. So Cody, does he take the risk here and try to get one of these numbers closed?
I think you do. I think you take 1 dart at it, and if you hit it, then you stay there, or then you move on. But he's doing the opposite of that, so I'm just going to stop talking about it. That's what I would have taken a shot at it. That's why I'm sitting here in my home and not standing at a dart line right now.
I think if he would have seen a triple there on either the first or second dart, he would have went for it.
Boom goes the dynamite. Brandon Westover getting something done there. You like to see those start to fall for him. He needs to keep that going to stay in this match.
I believe that's our 3rd in the match already. 3rd, maybe 4th already.
And these guys have not hit 9 marks heavily throughout this tournament. Brandon has 11. Cody has 12 total, which is insane, by the way, to say out loud when on Monday night we saw 28 total 9 marks with 9 in one leg.
Yeah, it was insane. It was insane. Also, a little tidbit of information that I want to mention as well is Cody Drager kicks up his overall win percentage average from 50 to a little bit more, picking up 4 legs here right off the bat. But still a lot of darts to play. And for Brandon Westover, he's currently at 60% win percentage. So that's, of course, fluctuated down a little bit so far in this match.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I really think that these guys are going to start stepping up this game a little bit more. We're seeing it from Cody, and Brandon's starting to get there. He just needs to stay consistently hitting those numbers that he's shooting at. If he does that, if he continues to do that, like that 3, he's riding on the edge when he's getting a little bit offline there. Big last start on the 16 though. Did you like that move?
Certainly, I think you take the opportunity to close. Why not? Why not?
Absolutely. And it's always a smart move when you hit it.
You can't complain when you hit it. You just can't complain when you hit it. As he finds himself up by a 40-point lead here. Go ahead and take a stab at these 15s. No, he's going to go for the points now after missing that first one. No,
Oh,
he
and
goes over.
he got it on the last dart. What a hero shot there that worked out. I will be your hero, baby.
I was about to say, just grab onto that slot machine, cha-ching there. That'll work.
I love it.
I don't know about your singing voice though, but it'll work. It'll work.
This is actually a fun fact about me. I was president of my choir in high school.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah, I was that guy. A 4.5 for Brandon as he gets his first leg on the board. And guess what? Player advantage. He goes first again. You got to love it.
Big stuff there. Taking advantage of the player advantage is Mr. Brandon Westover.
Do you want to explain the player advantage real quick, bud?
Yeah, of course I can. So if your opponent finds, or it's certain circumstance there, if you're down by 3 legs or more, you're automatically gonna get that start and that next leg. So it's kind of a one of those things that if you find yourself down by 4 legs, you rattle that one off, then you get the start, just like Brandon did here. So um, I don't know. We've had some people in the chat like it. We had some people in the chat that dislike it. It's one of those things that does kind of, I don't know. You don't want to say handicap things, but just kind of allows that opponent opponent with the that's down by a little bit, at least some form of chance.
Absolutely. I mean, you're completely right there, but it's only a player advantage if the player takes advantage of that advantage.
Exactly.
That
That's
was
the
weird to
thing.
say. That was weird to say, by the way.
Well, that's the thing is it can put you in a good mindset or it can throw you off because if you're down by let's say like Willie Walker was, it's so easy to put yourself out of that equation rather than back into the equation.
No, absolutely. I mean, you're completely right there. And Brandon is raising his game right now. Cody now started off the leg a little bit slow, but he's gotten it back up to a 4 as well. So he's not going anywhere anytime soon. He's feeling it a little bit more tonight than he did the last time he played Brandon. That's for sure.
Cody going at these trip 17s.
Only 3 of them.
What does Brandon do here?
Something different than I would, but that's because he's been killing that last dart. That last dart has been his saving grace here in the past couple legs. And it's good to see that hitting because it was not hitting the first 4. Derek, I
Big
appreciate that,
9.
buddy. Derek Kitchen in the chat with us, an indie player and supporter. I appreciate that, man. Thanks for tuning in with us.
Oh, Brandon stomps back with a 7 mark after Cody hits a 9 mark.
Are you waiting for me to say it still?
No, I just don't want you to say it.
Good.
I'm just kidding.
You shouldn't have said the word 9 mark. I'm just saying. I love it. That's the better image anyway.
Yeah, everybody likes that one.
Speaking of images that people liked.
Yeah, I saw one Mark McFadden already comment on that beauty.
And I'm surprised you didn't just go, "You're welcome."
You're welcome.
I didn't want to lose supporters and viewers, so I didn't post a similar picture. It would have gone the wrong direction for all of us.
Well, there we go. Big trip. 2 trips there. 6 mark. Because you see Nick give him a big old slap. No. Don't you dare. No.
We're kind of an anything goes stream at this point in time, right? There it is. Look at that beautiful thing. Oh, it's already gone. You can open up your eyes now, bud.
The stuff you do that's gonna come back and haunt you down the road.
Down the road. It was about a day later.
Oh man.
All right, these guys are throwing fantastic in this leg, and they've been throwing fantastic this whole match so far. 4-7-8 going right now, and there's a double. I've been waiting for the first one from him. He's been talking about how he shoots that double. He finally hits one there, and it's at a point now where it is getting close to being 4-2. If it becomes 4-2, sorry about how I said 4 earlier. This seventh leg is huge. 5-2 is way different than 4-3. And the player advantage does not take place if Brandon hits this last bowl. Just like that.
I'm so at a loss right now. I don't know what to do with myself.
By the way, when he laughs like that, that's his anger that he's covering up with a laugh.
Oh man, this game.
Best friends learn each other's laughs and what they mean.
Well, here we go. Brandon Westover making a stand here. 4-2 going into this last leg before our break. What do you think? Can he make it 4-3?
This so far has been a game and a match of momentum. And I think the momentum right now is in Brandon Westover's hands. So I do think he makes it 4-3, but it really does depend on if he takes advantage of that miss by Cody, which he does. Not as much as he probably would have wanted to, but it's enough to get something done. And let's talk about it because I love this. Would you have gone a different route there and not shot at the 20s?
I'm going to be honest with you. I was looking at the chat and I was about to give Brian Dennis a shout out since he's chiming in here for Brandon.
Yeah.
So, I just wanted to give him some love after his performance Monday night. So I wanted to give him a shout out. But yeah, I totally didn't even look at what he did there. My apologies. So,
We're just going to move
ahead,
on.
Reiterate. Yeah, okay.
That's
Go ahead.
all good.
That's fine. That's fine.
It's past us now. It's not a big deal. I also
was a big hit there though. Look at that 9. That
boom
9
goes the
means
dynamite.
something. You saw it in his face how much it meant to him as he gave the Tiger Woods fist pump of approval.
Well, so here's the thing. I did not get good at darts quickly or ever. So he's gotten really, really, really good at darts in 3.5 years. It's almost to a point now where he doesn't have to. He just shows up, and the darts kind of are there for the most part. He works at it for sure, but he doesn't really have to think about it not being there. And those first 3 or 4 legs, the darts that he normally throws were not there. Now they are. And you can tell that he's relaxing a little bit. He's starting to get back into it. He's starting to realize I'm still the same person that got it to this point, and my darts are going to start finding what they're shooting at as you're seeing it there, another 5 mark there.
Well, that's what he's saying. He's one of the best average of the match so far with a whopping 5.25 right now. So good stuff here from Brandon Westover as he's fighting back into this one.
Cody unable to do a whole lot on the 18, so Brandon with a full-on opportunity to take full control of this leg. I like how he shot at points first. He's moving over to stay on points. No, he moved over to move up. Now I'll go back down and point on the last dart. And I'm telling you, that last dart has been a dagger so far in the last 3 legs. And Ryan George makes a great point. This all started with the player advantage, and that's why I love the player advantage, because you get down early, you still have that opportunity to go in first, you still have to take advantage of it, but if you do, it relaxes you a little bit, and you're right back in this match, and now it's no longer chances of a whitewash or a lopsided victory. Right now, it's about to be 4-3 going to the break when it was 4-0 10 minutes ago.
And that's it. Just makes it more interesting. It just makes it more interesting when you have a big lead like this, and then all of a sudden, you know, you, it can be a totally different ball game if that didn't happen. It could be just a quick 30-minute match and we're done.
No, absolutely. You're absolutely right.
As these guys are already playing pretty quick. I mean, 9:18, not bad.
Right. And as a reminder, guys, we will be going to a break after this leg. Stay with us. We've talked about this before. The interviews are at the break. I love that change and what we did from the beginning, and I think that it has really been a cool break thing to have.
Yeah, certainly, it allows you to hang in there and watch a little bit about these players and get to know them a little bit more, because that's a crucial part of this production that we like to do is not only are you just seeing them play darts, but you're also getting to know that player as well, so that maybe next time you see him at a tournament, you can actually go up and say, hey, aren't you this guy that does this as well? It's just kind of a pretty cool piece that we do here.
No, absolutely. And
Kudos.
that might be the leg or that round that might swing this back in the favor of Cody.
And I was about to say kudos to Nick taking the time to do those interviews, because it can be tough with a work schedule and stuff like that. So shout
Hey,
out to him.
and
Extra
that's
brownie points for me. Ding ding.
yeah, I was about to say that's the first time you've ever been nice to Nick. No.
No, come on. I saw his dad did comment on the picture the other day. This the kind of friends you hang around with.
It's okay, Dad.
Certainly.
There it is again. We are not in the same location at all, which is, again, I say this. I actually haven't said this in a while, but the fact that we have Brandon Westover playing in Kissimmee, Florida, against Cody Drager, who's playing out of Sun Prairie, Wisconsin, at the Rock. I'm sitting in my house in Fishers, Indiana, north side of Indianapolis. You're in Kansas, Mr. Will Stewart, and Nick is closest to one of the other people that is involved in this, as he is over, I believe, in Davenport, Florida.
The live reaction cam.
I love it. At least he has his microphone off this time. That one night was funny. Brandon Neal says, have him say his last name real quick.
Who?
You. What's Nick's last name?
Dirachi? Nick DeShera. Nick DeShera.
That was so funny.
No, it was.
The other thing that I don't think a lot of the players a lot of the viewers know is that Nick and I had met one time before we started doing this. I didn't know you at all, Will. I knew you from USA Darts and what you did for them, but we had never communicated or talked except for that one time before we started this. And we're all three really, really good friends now. Some would say best friends. We're the three best friends that anybody could have. And I'm just saying, it's been really cool from our side of things that this has happened as well. So that's why Will didn't know how to pronounce his last name week 2.
I'm last name illiterate, as I say. By the way, everybody. So I butcher last names for a living.
Well, technically, yeah.
Oh my goodness!
I've agreed with you twice tonight.
Back to this match. Brandon Westover making a stand here. Look at this. 4.20 in this one. He's trying to make this 4-3. Now he's got to. Here's the tricky part, though. He's got to maintain this momentum into the break. That's the tricky part for him. He's going to try to, he's got to do something just to continue to have the same mentality. So maybe go to the restroom real quick, grab a drink, come back, hit the board for just a second, and then go after it.
The most underrated part of Monday's match is that those guys had the leg 7 was where the 9 marks came in. Do you remember how they started off leg 8?
Yeah. That is certainly not going to happen, sir.
I know, but they went 9 mark to start off leg 8 after the break. That's how stupid Monday's match was, first of all, and craziness.
I was about to say, I don't know what 9 mark you're about to sling at me because there were so many I'm not going to remember.
Mrs. Westover, you're pretty correct. I'm going to be honest with you on that. We don't want to mispronounce your name on your birthday.
No,
so we'll ask Nick at the break.
No, I know how to do it.
Okay, go ahead.
Yarlise.
Nope.
Nah! I had a friend with the same name here in Kansas, and that was her. That's how you pronounced her name. So maybe I'm just wrong. Everybody pronounced it wrong. I don't know. We gave it a good try.
Beautiful name. Beautiful name. I'm not even going to try it. Not even going to try it. It's your birthday. Happy birthday. That's all that matters. As while we're speaking, by the way, that leg changed quickly. Or this leg changed quickly.
Yeah, it certainly did. I didn't see that one coming very quickly. I really thought that was going to be in Brandon's hands. Yeah.
I mean, guys, we're going to a break here. It is 5-2. Brandon had the control of that leg for the majority of it. And when we look back on this, do you think that might be a potential change of the whole thing?
It's certainly going to be tough. I mean, that can be a tough deal to go with and then sit on for a couple minutes. So we'll see how Brandon takes it as we go into our break here and come back shortly. Right after these interviews, don't go anywhere. William Stewart here of USA Darts, joined as always by Sean Green of To The Point Streaming. This is the Division 2 third place match in the CSC Challenger Series, brought to you by Partners Promoting Darts. See ya in a moment.
My name is Cody Drager. I'm playing out of the Rock in Sun Prairie, Wisconsin, and I'm shooting for Bullseye Games.
And Cody, it's an absolute pleasure to have you on, the last person in the CSC to be on the camera. It's about a long time coming. Now, I want to just jump right into this tournament here, right? We're looking at your run so far. And first round you had a bye, then you played Mark Citrone, and then you played Brandon Westover and was on the losing end of that. What was it like playing Brandon Westover, knowing that you're about to play him again?
Yeah, so hopefully this time around I'll be giving him a little bit more of a competitive match. That was quite a slaughter that he gave me there. I think it ended up being 9-2 if I recall correctly. After the third or fourth game, he started getting hot, and I mean he was just hitting everything, and of course I wasn't matching, so it was kind of out of it before it was even over. So it was a little bit difficult against him. Obviously he's a great shot. I know what he's capable of doing. He's one of those Florida guys, as you know, that is he's capable of doing anything on the dartboard. So it's a pleasure to get back to play against him again, and hopefully, yeah, like I said, give him a better shot this time around.
Well, people that don't know, they should know that you're a competitor. In 2018, you were a TOC finale champion, and tell people that aren't familiar with what in-person TOC tournaments are like, what that was like.
Yeah, that was certainly my biggest experience to date in darts. I was fortunate enough to get paired with David Schuyler in Georgia. Of course, in that situation, there's 128 people. You don't really know who you're going to get paired up with until it's the night before, and a lot of times you're not even going to know who that is. So unless it's one of those bigger guys that like a Willie Walker, like a Kenny Doyle, that the name and everything like that. Obviously, you know what they're capable of, but. That was certainly intense. I've played quite a few people that have been in this event. I played Brandon Neal that day. I played Kenny that day. Playing those guys in person is certainly a little bit different than on on the board, on the stream, or anything like that remotely. But I really did like that experience. That was certainly something that was big for me, big for my game. I know that a lot of people didn't really know who I was or anything like that. Kind of came out of nowhere, just kind of like Kevin Schmitz did the year before from La Crosse in Wisconsin. So now he's made a name for himself. So certainly it was a great experience, and hopefully continue to do big things like that going forward. So it was certainly a big win.
That's amazing. And speaking of big wins, I mean, you're still in the tournament. You're in the third place match. That's $1,000 game of darts. As far as like a lot of pressure, I mean, just knowing that each win you get is $500, and then if you win the finals, you're getting $2,500 to take home. Does that add some pressure on your shoulders a little bit, or how does that make you feel?
Yeah, I think anybody that wants to, whether they want to admit it or not, I mean, I think there is a little bit of pressure there. That in the back of your head, especially when you get to the end of the tournament like this. Fortunately, like we just talked about with the Kansas City TOC in 2018, I had the unfortunate luxury of getting double dipped by David Cameron and Bracy Hammond. With David, and we had to play one game for the title, which was basically one game of cricket for $5,000. So it's not quite at the level that this is as far as money wise, but it's still there. It's still in the back of your head, and you just try to block that out and just play your game. You play the board. You do have to play the opponent a little bit, but you just play what's in front of you and take that as it comes.
I mean, it sounds like you're keeping good mentality going into this. Well, let's assume you win it, right? What do you do with the money?
I think the easy response is probably, it's Christmas time. That'll help with some gifts and things like that. So, maybe some of that. But what I would also like to do is, kind of expand my game a little bit. Get to some other tournaments. In the Midwest, out of state. Use that towards travel expenses. Whether it be hotels or anything like that. So.
Well, that's fantastic, Cody, and we're definitely looking forward to watching your match. Is there anything you want to say to your friends, fans, family, or anybody that'll be watching?
Yeah, no, I do just really want to thank Tom and Maria at The Rock for hosting me. I shoot there a couple nights a week, so it's always nice to have their support. I really appreciate my friends and family for kind of putting up with my hobby and supporting me along the way, and especially Bullseye Games and PPD for the opportunity to even play.
Well, that's fantastic. And shoot well, Cody. Best of luck on your match.
Yep, my name is Cody Drager, and you're watching the CSC Challenger Series.
My name is Brandon Westover. I'm playing out of Skybox, and my operator is C&M.
Fantastic. And Brandon, it's a pleasure to have you back on. It's been a few weeks. We knew it was going to happen eventually, but now you're here, and you're preparing to play your match against Cody Drager. Last time we saw you, you were playing Dan Levine. Let's talk about that match a little bit. What was your feelings during that?
It was definitely more fun for Dan than it was myself. I practiced well up and starting into it, but once we got started, I don't know what it was. I didn't really feel any different. It just wasn't, none of my trips were dropping, and the first 7 games, I don't know that I think I hit barely a 4 in one game. So maybe I was lucky to be only down 5-2. And I probably brought Dan's game down a little bit too. So once we regrouped, I played much better. I mean, obviously I was kind of behind the 8 ball. You do have the shooter's advantage, but there was too many segments that I just could not. It was rough finding triples, which I normally have no problem hitting those, and it just was contagious. I was single, or missing. And segments I'm usually really powerful at, I couldn't hit, and so I really couldn't overtake. He was pretty consistent the whole time, so he did what he needed to do and just punished me. So, yeah.
Well, that being said, those last few legs that you were playing, you were mounting an incredible comeback. We were watching it on the clip show the other night with Sean and I, and when you were on and you were playing your best, it was very competitive darts. And really, that's what I know you were in the chat the other night when we were watching the incredible match on Monday with Brian Dennis and Willie Walker. How are you going to try to prepare yourself for your stream tonight to kind of prepare yourself to play Cody Drager?
Well, I'm definitely not going to try to copy exactly what they did, because they as in Willie and Dennis, or Brian Dennis, I don't think I can do that, especially not for that long. So I do what I normally do, just same practice routines, most of it for me is down to my grip, how it feels in my hand and how it's releasing. If it's releasing good, sometimes it comes and goes, but when it's feeling good, like the good legs that you saw in the other matches, probably no different than the first two opponents I played. Like, I can do it all night long when it feels good, but the second it doesn't, I got to figure out how to get that back quicker.
And now, with the fact that you played Cody Drager before, do you think that kind of changes your mindset going into this match, knowing that you already played against him this tournament?
I mean, it maybe changes my mindset a little bit. I don't put a lot of stock into it just because I can play different darts the day before than the day after. So it's up to me. If I play really well, I feel like I can beat anybody. So as long as I play well, I don't put a lot of stock in that match. Like, I beat him fairly well, but I don't, it was an off night for him, and we both didn't start off very well. And from that point, I played, when it was 3-2, I want to say the score was 3-2. From 3-2, I won 6 matches in a row, or 6 legs in a row, and I was pretty unstoppable. So I'm going to go the same strategy I always go with, and if I need to switch in the middle, I will. I'm not afraid to switch. I'm sure he's thinking he's going to have a better night, so it should be a good match.
And then one last thing I wanted to ask you about, just because I know the answer to this question, but the commentators that don't know you as well don't. Can you explain a little bit your logic on doing your 19 start over 20 and stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, I've even though I've only played for close to 3.5 years, like, I do a lot of, I'm very mathematical, so I do things no different than you hear Maloney talk about statistics on doubles and stuff. So I enjoy doubles as well. Now, mind you, I'm going inside doubles, but no different than that. I'm doing things based off of my game and my stats. So if I can throw a 5 or a 6 on 19s or 17s or whatever the number is, 18s, if I'm only throwing a 5 or 4, if I'm throwing a 4 on 20s that day or that I'm feeling, it's more advantageous for me to go for the other number. I'm always going to have the lead, especially if I'm going to stay on that number for a significant period of time. So I'll switch it sometimes, but for the most part, it was easier to question it probably. I haven't watched that match, but it's probably easier to question it as you watch that match. But if you saw my previous 2 matches, you can ask my opponents, like, there's a reason why I do the things I do. I put lots of thought into it. It's not just random, I'm going to go for this.
Well, I know we're excited to really see what you have in store for us tonight. I know you and Cody Drager, he's going up for a little bit of vengeance, and I know you want to prove what you can do. So we're going to be in for a good time. Is there anything else you want to say to anybody that's going to be watching along?
I mean, I hope it's a good match. I don't expect exactly what you saw on Monday with Brian and Willie, but we will still give you a good show, and we'll see where it goes.
Alrighty, well, shoot well, and we wish you the best of luck.
My name is Brandon Westover, and you're watching the CSC Challenger Series.
Here we go with another one, another leg here, and this one back between Brandon Westover and Cody Drager. Sorry there, Nick had me going as someone forgot to hit the unmute button a little bit sooner, so I said about a whole sentence and a half before he unclicked it felt like.
Hey, who are you? Are you Will Stewart from USA Darts? It threw him off so hard. He's like, I have to be in a rhythm, and if not, it's over. I'm Sean Green from To The Point Streaming, and we are bringing you the CSC Challenger Series Division 2 match between Cody Drager and Brandon Westover. Third place goes to the loser, and $1,000. The winner moves on to the finals. And Brandon finds himself down 5-2, looking to get some stuff going here. Cody's been very impressive. If you're wondering why we're just seeing Brandon's screen the whole time, if you've been wondering that, it is because Cody does not have a streaming board near him within 60 miles for him to play on. You're just not going to talk anymore tonight, are you?
Honestly, I just wanted to let you take the slack there or take the reins there since I slacked off after that opener. So appreciate
No,
you wrangling it in there. Oh, goodness gracious, Nick.
that picture is fantastic, by the way. Speaking of fantastic, look at that fantastic 6 mark. 110% is going to be needed from Cody to get back in this leg. See, that's the reaction that I wanted to see on the reaction screen.
It's going to take a lot here. Brandon's got to hunker down here. It's going to be a long haul match if he's going to crawl back into this one. He's got to make every dart count.
Absolutely. And what we saw at the end of leg 7 was a huge change of momentum at the end from Cody against Brandon. Brandon had control of that leg with a really good opportunity to make it 4-3 going to the break, winning 3 legs on the spin. And Cody just hit the right darts at the right time to completely flip that leg, and it might come back near the end to be that leg that we think about when it's all said and done, if Cody does end up pulling out the victory.
Big 7 mark there for Cody.
Yeah, both these guys are coming out of the break, still throwing pretty decent. That was actually, I think, a bad luck there from Brandon on that second dart. See what Cody can do. Cody has a lot of people behind him watching. You can see that down at the bottom there. He has that support, and that's one of those things that it's really hard to see as much for us because we do get a good look at Brandon's view, but we do not get as good of a look from Cody's. But Cody has a lot of people cheering him on in the background there, for sure. If you were playing in this, Will, let me ask you a question. Would you rather have a lot of people behind you watching your match, cheering you on, or would you rather it be more like a normal remote match where you're there, there's maybe like 1 or 2 people there with you, and that's about it? What would you prefer?
I don't know. That's tough tough to say. I've never been in that position myself, but I kind of think I want stuff going around me. I don't want to just be there alone, because when you're there alone, I mean, yeah, the online side of things I did like for a little bit, but now once you get back into the reality of everybody around you, it just feels kind of weird being by yourself. So I like kind of some stuff around me.
I tend to play better when I have people behind me hyping me up, keeping me motivated, kind of reminding me that this is a bigger match than like a typical thing that you're playing in. So the more support that's behind me that I can, fist bump, saying good darts and a good round, that's, keeping me motivated the right way. I think I would prefer that because in live events, I prefer that. So I would like to make it seem almost like normal, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, almost like normal.
So you heard the last sentence of what I said. Awesome. What do you guys think in the chat? Mike, you're in here, buddy. What do you think? Do you like having those hype men behind you, and or do you like kind of just doing your own thing?
Maloney's going to give you an honest opinion no matter what.
For sure. That's why I haven't asked him yet if he actually likes my commentary or not. All he said was 100%. I gave you 2 options, Mike. You just said 100%.
We heard the back end.
Dan, we know you like a kind of busy bar. You also like being right near the bathrooms where people can walk right in front of you every time to go to the bathroom. It's still impressive that it never throws you off. Throws the first dart. Someone walks past him. Ah, that makes more sense.
I honestly didn't even see that. Yeah, I was just noticing. Got to hit some trip 16s here to make it interesting. As Brandon's just going to attack the 16s, hope for a close here. Smart move, I think.
I like it a lot.
Go ahead and close it out. I mean, you got the 95 or 85 point advantage. Why not?
It's nice to point out, guys. The guy who is sitting on the king seat, who is waiting for the winner of this match, is in the chat here, Mr. Dan Levine. So next Wednesday, we do have the finals of the CSC Challenger Series Division 2. If Dan wins, it's all over. If he doesn't, bonus week. He doesn't need to hire a bouncer. He just needs to put some red velvet ropes up.
The velvet ropes. The velvet ropes. Love it. Look at this, going for the 17s here when he can. I don't know if I like that last move. I think you got to stay right there. But the thing is he's already down by a significant margin. I mean, you might as well take a risk and hope for a triple and then hope for a miss here, which I'd say that was a pretty good miss there if you're in Cody's neck of the woods.
Well, I'm going to say the reason I really like the look at the 17s with that dart is that he knows that 117 is a whole nother bowl for Brandon, and it puts pressure on Brandon to hit those 3 bowls. And if he would have closed the 17s, Brandon right now not hitting those bowls right this second. But he's able to point those 17s and kind of get away with missing those bowls. Whereas Cody would have been able to get up there and be 4 bowls away from winning that match or that leg. And we've seen it so far. His timing has been so perfect. And that is why he has a 5-2 lead right now. He almost went double bowl, double bowl. Did you see that?
Yeah, I mean, here's
there
the
it
thing.
is.
Yeah, I would say here's the thing. Brandon's got to take this leg, and that's great stuff to take that one there to make this a 5-3 match. I mean, that's totally different here than 6-2.
Oh, man. And every one of these legs from this point forward is a huge leg for Brandon Westover. And he has the darts to bring it back square. And Cody has the darts to really turn this into a lopsided victory. It's right now who is going to throw above their average consistently enough for the next couple of legs to really take control in this match, or vice versa, to get right back into this match and make it a race to 4.
So this is what I'm thinking. We all know that Brandon likes the 19s. Do you almost take those out as soon as possible if you're Cody?
I don't like dictating my strategy based on my opponent. Do you agree with that, or do you actually think about that, about taking out that number?
I think you can't dictate to an extent, and you don't want to play around it. But I know that when you know your opponent's been just going at that number, and it puts you in a bind throughout the match, maybe you start taking that number out of play a little bit sooner when you're in this point of the match, because you have a two point lead or 2 leg lead. I think to an extent, yeah, you do have to let your opponent dictate a match, because unlike a 501 game where you're playing the board, your opponent's playing the board in this fashion too in a cricket match.
Absolutely. Now I'm going to say something a little bit different based on just this match. I think Brandon is relying on that he's so good at 19s in this match, and I think that he's missing them more than he normally does in this match, and I think that's why he's down 5-3 right now. He is not hitting those as consistently as he normally does.
This is exactly what I'm talking about from Ryan here. Treble 20, stab 19, 20s. See, I like that mindset. Don't go too soon. Don't just go with a 19 opener. I mean, we all know what our play is. Definitely make sure your points are the main thing. But yeah, you definitely want to take that closer look instead of maybe staying on the 20s for all those 3 darts. If you hit a triple and a single, go down there and take your chance.
Oh, I agree with that completely. I mean, that's a huge dagger anyway to open up 2 wedges and have points going into it. You're exactly right there.
Here we go. Cody's got to open up these 18s. Does so with the first dart. Look at that. Great follow-up. Possible 9. Does so.
Boom goes the dynamite. It's been forever since I've been able to say that. You guys have all missed it. I know it. I love how you guys used to complain about me doing it, and now you're so used to it that it's just like, I can't complain anymore.
Oh, don't you worry. There's still some complaints. I see them.
Well, yeah, but those are my 2 friends that are going to give me crap no matter what I say. But that's what friends are for.
All right, Brandon Westover. 4.67 so far.
That first start is a brutal first start lay for him. It's always great in steel tip to be just above that triple on the 19 because you just bang it right off of that, and it's never fun to be above that triple in soft tip. It always seems like it's completely blocked for you, especially if you're a taller player looking down at the 19s. It's rough.
Yeah, definitely a rough lay. Rather than steel tip, you can kind of have a sort of know-how to how your dart's going to land or position most of the time.
Absolutely. And soft tip darts, the dart, for the most part, unless the tip's bent a little bit, lays pretty much consistently every time. And steel tip, that's not the case. You have to know how your dart lays in the board for your strategy, your personal strategy. And I like that. That's what I like about steel tip. It actually points out flaws in your throw based on how your dart lands.
Certainly correct. Kind of have a Danny Lauby type land or position to mine, so kind of straight up direct point. Not a whole lot of people like that. I kind of favor it just because the whole bed's open.
And it's old school. That's the old school way. You want it pitched up a little bit so you can just bang it right off of there into the triple if you're a little bit high. And it's an easy switch for you if you're a little bit low in that number. Until Phil Taylor, everyone did that naturally with a little pitch up. He was the first one to kind of master that lace kind of straight and stacking motion.
Here we go. Can Cody take out the trip 15 pretty quickly here?
Oh.
Wow, look at this. Look at this. Still
Man.
a real nice round. Trip 18 right to the trip 15. Bang, bang, right out.
Yeah, and Brandon doesn't even have a chance to even look at those 2 numbers that are open for Cody. So he has real clean shot to make this a 6-3 lead. And like we said, Cody is getting to the point now where he's getting it within 2, and then he's making sure that it never gets to 1. He's throwing great darts at the right time in these legs to keep Brandon at a little bit of a distance.
Yeah, he's keeping him within that, let's say, that full arm's reach, but maybe just that half arm reach. 4.54 there for Cody Drager.
And this match is far from over. It's a race to 9, and we've seen worse situations and comebacks happen. I don't want to keep talking about it, but 6-1, final score was 9-8. Person who had 1 point at that time ended up winning. So this is far from over. And like I said early on with Brandon, he is scrappy. He's going to fight till the very end. He's going to do whatever he can to stay in these legs and stay in this match. He does not want this to be the last night that he is playing the CSC Challenger Series for this session.
Oh, he wants to play for that big money. He wants to play Dan Levant.
Oh, absolutely. Do I put Dan on the spot and say, Dan, let us know in the chat, who would you rather play? Make him do that.
Oh, I think it's so funny when commentators or people do that.
Right.
Like, who would you rather play? Well, honestly, I mean, I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus. But.
Yeah, and it's like, what do you say? And then what if the person that you didn't say you wanted to see ends up winning? Now that person's going to look back and see that and be like, they don't want to play me? That's a bit of more motivation for me that they were scared of me to begin with.
Exactly. Big 7 mark there for Cody. 180 plays 68 here as Brandon's going to play at these 17s. He chooses to open them. Likes them, but is it right next to the 19s? Why wouldn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm telling you, I think that Brandon's struggle in this match is that his bread and butter, that bottom of the board, is not going in as consistently as he is used to, and I think that is surprising him a little bit. So that first start looks so good. There's 2, and he shuts me up. Oh, 7 mark there on the 17s. Nicely done.
Nicely done indeed, but Cody's still got the advantage, and he's going to point it up here to prove it. Takes an opportunity at the 17s when he cans, just a single mark, but good stuff here from Cody. It's the 105-point advantage for him right now.
Yep, which automatically makes Brandon stay on the 17s. Even if you would hit 2 triples, it's only 102 points, so you're still down in points. You got to stay there for all 3 if you're down by more than 2 triples. So that's why Cody shooting that dart at the 17 is not even a risk, really. It's an opportunity.
A little risk, big reward.
Absolutely. And as Cricket points out, it's always the right dart if you hit it. Look at this. There's a boom goes a dynamite. Brandon Westover at the right time. A 9 mark on the 17s. 110%. Sorry, Nick. I hate to do it like that to you.
He loves it.
I like how we're just kind of watching. Look at this. He's moving. Oh, good looking darts there. Gets another 7 mark out of it. And Brandon catching fire on this leg at the right time. He needs it. And I've said right time now 3 times in this leg for those counting at home.
I think you meant the right stuff. That way you can lead in, to the good stuff since you were singing all night. You got the right stuff, baby. Oh, sorry.
I love it. Fantastic.
Tell you what, high school choir, not even high school, maybe like elementary school choir.
Have you ever been told you're the songbird of your generation?
Boom. Right there. First time. First time for everything.
You're like a mixture of Fergie and Jesus.
5 mark there for Cody. 30-point advantage here. I'm going to 5.22 though for Brandon Westover. Let's see if he can hold that. No, he cannot. Slight lead though. I don't think he's going to maintain it though. Cody's been doing well in these 18s.
Cody has tended to punish Brandon when he misses. And there it is. A 6 mark there for Cody. I know what? And there's the difference between your friends and my friends, by the way. Just so you know.
My friends are terrible, aren't they?
My friends tear me down. Your friends lift you up.
That's good. Oh, so Dan actually chimed in. We'll try again. So I personally don't want to play Brandon again, as I feel he could have won the kink seat had a few rounds and some legs went differently in our match 3 weeks ago. I would like to play Cody, as we know each other and we are both in Wisconsin. With that said, I'm cheering them both on tonight and look forward to playing whoever wins. So shout out to you, Dan, for leaving that little drop for us, the little goodie.
That might be the classiest way I've ever seen anyone answer that question. You know what I'm saying?
That is that. I mean, that really is a classy way of saying that, and I mean, it was an honest opinion.
Yep,
too.
absolutely. I mean,
Good stuff.
In Division 1, there's an opportunity for an all-Florida final. Why not Division 2 be an all-Wisconsin final? It's just as cool.
Brandon Westover is going to do everything in his power to not make that happen.
Absolutely, he will. Again, one of the scrappiest players I've ever seen. He does not give up. He stays right there, and he is just wires away from this being a completely different match.
So Ryan Keith is asking, so if Cody wins, will no one be streamed for that match? Are they going to fly Nick out there for a setup to set up the camera?
Dan has a camera at Woodchucks. So
yeah, we saw Dan Levine travel a little bit to play his buddy in one location. So that did happen in this CSC Challenger Series. I think it was John Bunnell, right?
Yes,
I believe so. Yeah. So him and John played the same location. So I think he'll travel on over to Woodchucks for that one. But if not, Nick, hightail it on over there. Get in your car. Let's go. Just a subtle drive from Florida to Wisconsin. But hey. Brandon's still got a chance in this match. We can't call this too early. So Brandon's got to hunker down like we've been talking about and just perform. He's played some good legs here. He's put in some good rounds. He's just got to do it. He's got to hunker down, take advantage of the player advantage like he did before. Let's see.
Yep. No, absolutely. And yeah, if you remember, Dan Levine has the board where you walk past him to go to the bathroom, that we all love to talk about the whole time. I can't wait to see that dynamic play out. And if it is Brandon Westover, he's got to bring back the velvet ropes, right? Just to show the absolute difference. You didn't even respond to my question.
I was reading these comments.
Oh.
Some of these comments are gold. Someone asking me to do audio. Josh asking me to do audio tapes. Put people to sleep. I could do it. Just not last names. Don't ask me to do last names. I'll butcher those every single time. Big white horse there.
Boom goes the dynamite. Apparently, first names are also an issue sometimes.
Yeah, that too. Names in general.
Look at this leg from Brandon. A 6'2", This is the type of leg that you're seeing out of a scrappy player when his back's against the wall. I'm telling you. He is going to throw... I wouldn't put it past him to throw above a 5 in the next leg if he takes this out right now.
Wow, good stuff. You see Nick give him a couple claps there. 5.60. I think Cody even gave him a clap on that one.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Nick giving him a clap as well. Good stuff there. He's going to try to take full advantage of the player advantage here. See if he can do it.
Yeah, last time he had it, he did. He moves up on the second dart after that first dart, and he does get on the third. That's the other thing about him starting on the 19s. I get what he's saying, but I consistently see him hit more 20s when he starts on the 20s than I do his 19s. It must just be here.
Maybe it's just one of those mental things. Maybe, and I'm not trying to call anybody up, but maybe it's just something he's got to get over. I mean, he's still new. You got to think, 3.5 years in this game. That's still a very short amount of time compared to some of the players we've seen in this CSC Challenger Series, both Division 1 and 2.
Right.
I mean, his opponent alone has almost 3 times the advantage with years, or 3 times, the year's experience, with 9 years. So, I don't know. Something to mention.
No, absolutely. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Brandon has the least amount of experience of anyone in the CSC Challenger Series. I know Jacob Mott did not have a lot, but look at that. There's a 180 from Brandon Westover. Boom goes a dynamite.
A little clap of the hands for that one.
Absolutely. And look at that. Comes right back with the 9 mark. Back to back. Someone watched the CSC on Monday night. Back to back 9s. Boom goes the dynamite. And look at the pressure that put on Brandon.
Look at Brandon giving a little Gerwin Price here. Just kind of giving a little shout out here. Looking back to some people in the crowd, giving us some support maybe. I like it.
I like it too.
Like a little grit at the line. Nothing wrong with that. You're playing for some good amount of money. Why not get after it a little bit?
And there it is. Boom goes the dynamite.
See, Nick's over there like, see, told you, just scoot over that little bit, man. You got it. You got it. Boom.
Look at this. Oh. I got to stop getting so excited at these moments, but these guys are making darts is not this easy, guys. If you're just watching and you're not really a dart player, and I know it looks easier, it's not easy. It's a game everyone can play. It's one of the hardest games to play at the top level. It reminds me a little bit of golf.
Come on.
Boom goes the dynamite.
Another big 9 there. This is our leg here. This is our leg.
He's not doing himself any favors on the starting on the 19s thing, by the way. With all these 20s he keeps hitting.
It'll make you second guess things. It certainly should.
Stay up there and close that last dart. He did not do that. If you're going to throw the second dart at it, you got to throw the third at the 20, right?
Yeah, I think you got to give it a go.
Oh, look at those. Wire.
Tough darts here. Cody's looking to take advantage. 45-point lead. Take out the 20s while you can, Cody.
The gentleman sitting in the king seat would like to know where the 9 mark counter is tonight. All you got to do is ask, everybody.
Live reaction.
I guess not.
Happening. How about that huge round from Cody Drager as he takes out the 20s, takes out the 18s actually with that first dart. Big trip 18, and now he's sitting here with the 64-point lead. Gonna go 1, 2, 3 on the 16s here, I believe. 1, 2, 3 with a big triple with his last dart. There you go.
You did really well there. That call out was perfect.
I feel like, Boomer. Back.
Whoop! Here we go, guys.
Oh, jeez. Brett Favre. Here we go. Cody,
you can almost tell down there.
Bull.
You can almost tell that last bull he did not throw with the same movement that he threw the other 2 darts. It's almost like he didn't like the way it felt in his hand or something. And I know it's a really tiny screen there, but that's just what it looked like in that. Uh-oh.
Scott Hannish saying, pretty sure Brandon lost this game trying to run points and not taking chances to close. I mean, that's very well the case. I mean, he did have a couple opportunities. Well, maybe you just got to take those chances when you can. And if you don't take them, I mean, if your opponent hits, you're out of the water.
We could have a tie point going on here. If Cody does take this out, he's got to hit one more. Oh, that dart is huge because that would have been winning darts in the hands of Brandon Westover if he missed that.
That's a big leg there for Cody Drager indeed. But, you know, how often, you mentioned it, how often do you see a tied point end to a leg?
Especially in the 700s.
Yeah, correct.
All right, guys, 8-4, race to 9. Cody Drager 1 leg away from the finals here of Division II in the CSC Challenger Series. He's trying to make this an all-Wisconsin final. You can see him in the little corner screen on your streaming device, wherever you're watching us from, or your giant big screen TV. We want to know where you guys are tuning in from, who you're supporting. We appreciate all the support that you've given the CSC Challenger Series so far. Hopefully you have liked all of the content that we have put out there for you. I know Nick works extremely hard behind the scenes. Will's always this good. He just shows up and does it. I have to practice daily. So all the support you guys give us is so awesome. We can't appreciate it enough. I'm blessed to be in this position, to have the friends that I do that are joining me here as part of this broadcast team, and to watch this great darts on Mondays and Wednesdays.
You couldn't be more wrong about what you said about me, but yeah, you're right. You do need to practice every day being an English teacher.
I wasn't lying when I say I practice every day. Don Drager in the chat saying, my kid rocks. Go Cody. Mama Drager. I love that type of support. That's my favorite type of support right there.
That's good stuff. Big Trip 17 there. How about that 9 mark from Brandon Westover?
Boom goes the dynamite.
Got to do everything he can to stay in this match, as Cody's just one magical leg away from a $2,500 final.
Guaranteed. Yeah, they're going to be playing for $4,000 next Wednesday, buddy, between the two of them.
Money, 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 money.
That is not bad, guys. Not bad. If you're wanting to join the next CSC Challenger Series, get in the top 500 of the All-Star rank list, get points by playing in DRTs, leagues, and All-Star trips. Go to dartstoc.com to get signed up today. There's another 9 mark for Brandon Westover. Boom goes the dynamite. And in case you couldn't see Nick's lips moving, he said that exact phrase.
Jay asking if we're really counting Brandon Westover out. Certainly not. I think we've seen big comebacks happen, and they can happen again. I mean, when you're talking big money, anything can happen.
Yeah, Jay, absolutely not. I've said this from the get-go. Brandon Westover is one of the scrappiest dart players I've ever seen. His back against the wall is actually a scary spot for Cody right now. And you're seeing it. Throwing the best legs of the match for himself with 2 9 marks so far. And the thing about Cody, though, he can throw some darts as well. Boom goes to dynamite. Cody Drager trying to keep this thing out of reach. He wants to end this now. He does not want to let Brandon start to get a roll with one leg here. He wants it over. Brandon is not ready to give up, though. And this is what I like to see.
I think if we see a triple here, he's going for a close.
Oh, man. Trip 7. So, Brandon, does he take a shot at it? Now he does, right?
Yeah. No, I think he's going to stay right there now. Nope. See, I couldn't be more wrong. 2 back-to-back guesses wrong for Mr. Stewart. So, yeah, I'll just shut up and let these players play their game. Yeah, now he's got to take his chance. No, he just stays right there. See, I'm wrong again. 9 mark for him. I mean,
dynamite.
here's
Yeah. Four 9 marks so far in this leg, by the way, but who's counting? Guys, this is the second match in a row, week in a row. Darts are not this easy. Tell him, Will. Darts are not this easy. Tell him, Will.
They're definitely not this easy. I mean,
Darts
these
are
guys
not easy. It is getting hot in here. The dynamite is going off left and right.
Oh, funny.
Brandon raises his average up to a 5.18. Cody says, thank you, I'll do the same and do it a little bit better. 5.8 right now. He has not missed a 16 that he shot at. That's the first mixed trip 16, and he is not messing around. He is pointing like crazy.
I don't know what accent that was, but that was gorgeous.
Thank you.
Look at him still going at these 18s, but still down by 5 now. So advantage here for Cody.
He's got to go up there. No.
This is the thing.
Wow.
He's
doing a Tito. He's pulling a Tito.
This is literally what I'm talking about. I'm so dumbfounded that he hasn't taken a couple opportunities at that 18 already.
Brandon under so much pressure right now. What a 7 mark right there.
And that's the thing about Cody is
he's looking up now. No. What is he doing?
There it is. There's the big finish. Okay. So he finished there with the trip 18 to close, but you got to wonder that's a couple legs too late.
Wow.
I think Cody's put himself in the position to go ahead and finish off. That 9 mark really, really helped.
Oh my goodness. He does not miss 16s. Cody 16's Drager just destroying this triple segment. He's going to have to change that thing out after this match. But Brandon goes in with a 9 mark of his own. Boom goes the dynamite. That is Brandon Westover. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing you to the scrappiest player I've ever seen in darts. Under so much pressure, he is still consistently staying right there. And Cody is just hammering right now. This is a fantastic leg of darts. Oh, wires it in the trip 10. There it is. Great switch on that one. Oh, there goes the flight up. That's the problem with that dart. And that might be it.
What a fantastic leg here. 5.8, 5.3. What a
He's
battle.
going 16 first?
Yeah, I think he's just not comfortable with his lead. And I can't blame him. I honestly can't blame him. I mean, when you think about it, 2 triples, Brand's in the lead.
Does it turn into being afraid of losing instead of trying to win? Do you ever think about that? Like, if you're doing that?
Oh, yeah. Oh, certainly. I mean, that's the thing about it is we talked about the 18s. We thought he should have took the chances couple legs or a couple rounds sooner. I mean, I'm surprised he didn't take a stab at the 15s a little bit sooner too.
There's the
But
first look at it. And listen, I'm not saying it's the wrong move for him. It's working.
yeah,
And it's how he's won matches, I'm guessing. Because in the chat, they're like, yep, that doesn't surprise us at all. Those that know him and that have played him.
yeah. And that's another thing too is another mention by Ryan is the round count. I mean, even though you're so close to a finish, I mean, yeah, you're two, that
I, th-
14, 20.
I think they're a little bit
Oh,
of
that's
ways.
game.
Yeah, it's only around 15. There's a hat trick because, of course, there is, because he's not going to. Whenever Brandon Westover loses a leg or loses a match, he threw great darts the previous round because he does not ever give up. There it is, guys.
There it is.
Cody Drager moving on to the finals of Division 2 of the CSC Challenger Series. That was an impressive last leg, Will.
I mean, it really was from both those guys. 5+ there for Cody, 4.97 there for Brandon. I mean, Brandon did everything he could to try to fight back in that situation. I mean, it's just one of those things that Cody just, instead of taking an opportunity here or there to close, just kept pointing. And what can you do? What can you do?
What made that leg so much more impressive is that it showed both players for who they were throughout the match and what they're known for. Cody Drager, the hammer, is going to hammer points, and he's going to take his shots when he feels comfortable enough to take his shots. Brandon Westover is going to be the scrappiest player that you face. If he loses, you're going to be exhausted when you beat him. He does not give up. He does not have legs off if the pressure's on. If the pressure's on, he throws even better. It's really, really awesome to see. Those guys put on an impressive performance, and that was a deserving final 3 match in the CSC Challenger Series Division 2.
Yes, it certainly was. As I was, looking at all the chat box go crazy and congratulating, Cody Drager for moving on here to advance to the final for $2,500. I mean, big money on the line. But yeah, as we mentioned kind of before we got started here, Cody with something on his mind here tonight is he mentioned 9-2 loss to Brandon in the to get into this position where he's at now and to kind of flip that on the table and turn that around and play well when you needed to and put Brandon in tough situations. Cody Drager, congrats to him.
Absolutely, man. And guys, if you're a fan of cheese, we got an all Wisconsin final coming to you next
Wisconsin. It should be pretty fun. Entertaining to say the least. I'm gonna be excited for that Dan Levine Cody Drager final, 8:30 Wednesday night.
Can't wait for that. I also can't wait for Monday night, buddy. A final 3 match of Division 1. Brian Dennis. Wow. I just can't even. Brian Dennis, legend, will be taking on the fantastically sound Kevin Schmitz in a fantastic battle. The winner will face Kenny Doyle in the finals. It's going to be fantastic, man.
The nitty-gritty part of the bracket where money can be won. So join us, folks. You don't want to miss it. Monday and Wednesday night, 8:30 p.m. Central here on the Partners Promoting Darts pages. Per usual, William Stewart here of USA Darts, joined by Sean Green at To The Point Streaming. We will see you Monday night, folks, as we get down to our finals.
Have a great night, guys.